Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. For today's review, we'll be looking at a tool called TaskIP, which is a robust client and project management platform designed to simplify workflows for digital agencies, small to medium-sized businesses, and freelancers. TaskIP has everything you need to run your agency on. Some of the main features are a sales pipeline, an inbox, create meetings, add tasks, creating invoices, and even have the option to create tickets. These are just a few to name. So TaskIP is currently running a lifetime deal on Earlybird, which is very much a platform like AppSumo. Okay, so there are three tiers, and there are a few differences to know. So for tier one, if you just have one business that's quite small or you're an entrepreneur, you probably want to go for tier one. And for tier two and tier three, if you have multiple businesses or want to run a client's business on here, you would want to go for either of these. So for the max tier, you pretty much get unlimited teams, unlimited team members, you get 10 workspaces, which means you can actually run a client's agency, or they could have access, or you can run up to 10 agencies and get features or access to everything that is available. You also get up to 20 terabyte of storage, which is a heck of a lot. One thing to note before I jump into TaskIP's features is that the founder is very active. I had a couple of issues, and within an hour he managed to sort them out. He was very quick at responding, and that already makes me feel at home with TaskIP. Okay, so when you first sign up or sign into TaskIP, you will come across this dashboard, and it basically shows you what's been going on in your agency, such as your revenue. I haven't got any because I'm just demoing this software, your daily revenues, your invoices. It also has quick actions on the right side here, so you will see your most updated emails, the discussions, and also what meetings. So that's really nice. You can also come up to this notification bell for recent ones, or you can click the inbox and that will tell you your most recent emails. You can also click mark all as read. So let's first talk about the dashboard. Everything is very easy to access, such as all the options on this side panel on the left here. All you need to do is scroll down and you can simply click on any one you want to get it up. The dashboard is very simple to navigate around, and for a tool like this, you don't want it to be complicated. So before we go through all of the features or options that are available, you first of all want to go to settings, and this basically allows you to set up your agency or your business exactly how you want. And then once you've done this, you'll go through some of these options here and it will make it a lot easier to set them up. So first of all, you have your workspace, and in here you can add your workspace name. So you might want to have that as your business name. You can also add in a description. You can also change your time zone depending on where you are. You can add in a workspace logo and a workspace favicon. So why would you want to add these details in for your workspace? Well, when a client joins in on your workspace, the client will be able to see all of this information. Or even if a team member is invited, they will see all this. So it's important to make sure your workspace aligns with what your business is about. Next up, we have business settings. So here you can change your logo. So all you need to do is click on there, drag your file in. I will just drag the picture here of myself, not the best one, but we'll add that in and it will upload that, and there we go. You can also add in your own signature, which is nice. You can change the name and the email, add in a phone number. So I'm United Kingdom, and we'll just add that fake number in. And what's really nice is whatever country you choose, it will give you the max amount of digits that you can add, so you make sure that you're not going over. You can also add in your zip code, your website address, the address of your business or where it's located. You can choose from all these different countries. You can choose the state, the city, and change the currency. So the currency, whatever one you choose, will be at default for when you create an invoice or something like that. Next up, we have payment methods, and you can choose from a few different ones here, such as manual payment, PayPal, FastSpring, Stripe, Razorpay, Zender, and Molly.
and they don't have Ys here, so perhaps that's one they may want to add in the future. It's quite popular. But whatever payment method you want to add, so you get paid in that particular way, you just click on one here. You will fill out the details such as transaction ID. You can make it default, require an attachment. You can drag an image here and even write a description. And of course, PayPal is very popular, and it will tell you exactly how to do this if you're not sure at the bottom here. So it will take you to a help document from TaskIP, which is really good to see. TaskIP also has integrations with the following: Proper Voice, WhatsApp, Google reCAPTCHA, so that will prevent spam and bots spamming your forms, etc., and Cloudflare Turnstile. It also gives you a brief description on how you can utilize these integrations. And if you go to this settings icon, you will have some additional settings that you can fill out. And once again, there is a document on this. So everything's very simple to access and see. And under contact settings, you can configure custom fields and groups. So if you wanted to add in your own custom field, you'll click here, enter your own label, the field type, so they have a few to choose from, and the field group if you select that. Now, what's really nice with TaskIP is you can actually connect your email. So the way this works is you actually have to have a website, and you would basically set up a forwarding email. So that could be like the one I've got here, hello@ltdreviews.com. And below that, it's got some instructions on how to set this up. So I did this with cPanel, and if you click here, there's a guide on how this can be done. And it's very simple to do this, and the instructions are very easy to understand. Essentially, all you need to do is add in these DNS records, check status, and then you'll basically be set up. Once you're set up with your email, when emails are sent through, it instantly comes through and it's extremely quick, which I was pleased to see. You can also connect multiple emails with the inbox through email aliases, which is really nice. You can add in tags, so it's already got some here, but you can change these. There is auto reply, which is a nice additional setting. So on auto reply, you could add in here something like on holiday, and the response message could be, "Hi, I'm currently on holiday and won't be back until this selected date. Please contact blah 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 for all inquiries. Thanks, Seb." And basically what that will do is when someone sends an email, this reply will be sent back to them. And there's a little note down here that says auto replies are limited to one per conversation within a 24-hour period. So if that person sent multiple emails, they would still only receive this one response back. In the response message, you can add in some formatted options to change your text. You can add in some code, or you can even add in some variables. So if you have a contact added, you can basically click here and it will say the contact name within those variables. There's also a quick reply option. If I click here, you put in your title, put in a description, and you'll basically have that available to use when sending an email. Okay, so moving on to companies, this basically has your name and your email associated with the company. You can also add additional companies, so you can select your size, the industry, and add in all these settings. And next up we have roles. So you can change the roles and permissions. So if I click on manager, that is essentially me, and you can see what that manager has access to. You can also then see what the team members have access to, and then the clients. And talking about team members, it is very easy to add a team member, and you can see I've got one here. You just go to add member or add team member, fill out these details. You put in the role, so if it's a team member, you may want it just as member. Select a team, I have one, and let's just fill out this quickly. This is just some dummy info, but once you're done, you go to invite. And what that will do is that will send an invite to this email address. They will accept it, and pretty much they're part of the team. And moving on, we have project settings. Here you can add a category, so we can create a new one, call it project 1, and that will be created. You can add a tag and we can call that important project. Now, if we go to form settings, there are a few default settings that you can add from here. And these are basically the status of your settings. And then we have meeting settings. So you can add integrations here. And if we just click that, it will ask you for a Gmail address to connect to Google Meet. So you have that option there. You can also add in reminders. This is basically a response message, which at the bottom here it says, this is an automated response to confirm we've received your message. Please don't reply to this email. So that's a really nice feature that they have. There's also invoice settings. And I won't go through all of this because we're going to cover some of that in a minute. But basically, this is just the settings for everything that you need for the additional features or the main features. So basically, you set this up. So by default, when you go to these options on the side panel, everything's in place. So let's start off with sales pipeline. Now, all you need to do is go to the little button here. You will choose your pipeline name and then you will enter this process. And here you can create your new deals, and then you can assign the employee or team member to do this deal. You'll select the contact that falls under this particular deal, choose the company, the deal amount, select the tags, and if you want to create a new tab, you just select there, type in the tag and select new. Documents we'll cover in a bit, but it's a bit like Notion. You will choose the closing date. So I've chose March 22nd, which means this will need to be completed by then. You add in a description and create deal. And now you'll see here it's in the prospecting stage. Now, if you want to change this to say qualification, you can simply drag this over to there and it's as easy as that. And you can just do this all along all these different stages until the very end where the deal is closed. You can also add in a new stage at any time. You can change them there by just dragging them across. So it's very simple to navigate this pipeline. A few additional options is that you can rename the stage, move all cards to whatever section you want, duplicate the board and delete it. Next up we have contacts. Now I'm on the free version which allows you to add up to 1,000 contacts max. But on the higher tiers you obviously get more contacts. I think from tier 2 and above you actually get unlimited. So you have a few options here. You can view your contacts. If I click on these three little dots you can see the details of the contact. There's also more information such as the deals. So you'll see now since we've added the deal with this contact assigned to it under the sales pipeline, it's showing here. You can see the quotations, the invoices, documents assigned to this particular contact. If you have hundreds or even thousands of contacts, you can search for them up here and you can actually import contacts from a CSV, or you can just click this button, fill out all these details such as the name, email, number, country, and at the bottom here you can even invite the client to the workspace or choose from custom fields. And once you're done, you go to submit. Okay, so next up we have inbox, and this is what it is. If you've added your email, as I showed you in the inbox settings earlier, and you've applied the DNS settings, whenever someone sends an email, it will appear here in the inbox, or you will see up here on the email icon, it will show you the latest emails. And to view an email, you just click on the box, you'll see the email here. And this will allow you to go through some of these additional options. So you can simply click reply up the top right here. You can also add tags to this email. You can bin it, and you can also mark as in red or convert to a contact, which is really nice. So if I wanted to reply, you'll get this here. It will say who you're replying to. You can add a link, an emoji, or change the font. And quick reply, you can basically add in the one you created earlier. So for instance, if I click there, it says this is a test, but it just shows you how quick you can actually reply if you set up the quick replies properly. And if I hit send, I will show you how quick it sends to my actual email inbox. and you'll see here that it's already sent it, and that was literally within a couple of seconds, so really neat. And moving on, we have discussion. Now this is basically like a chat between clients and a team member. So if you had multiple contacts, you will see them here if a chat has been initiated. But to do that, you just go to that little plus icon. You can have the conversation type in a person or a group. So if it's a group, you would have multiple contacts, and in person, you just select the contact, go to create conversation, and now you'll be set up with that particular contact. And it's as simple as coming in this text box here, adding in your message, clicking send, and then the client will receive that on their end when they're signed in. Now, I don't see an option to actually delete any of the messages here, and perhaps that's something they can add, and maybe on the client side, if they don't have it, or maybe an options just say that the discussion is over. Another nice feature is you can instigate a meeting, or you can set one up. And to do this, all you would need to do is go to create new, and then there's some details to fill out. I've already filled one out, but I basically had the meeting title as supervision. You can add a description, so this is a meeting to discuss your first 3 months of the job. You can change all this here. You can add in the meeting host. So I've got 2 available. You can have the meeting as a Google Meet, but you have to connect your Gmail account first. You can do it as a phone call or in person. And if we go back to phone call, it has a couple of options. I will call my invitee, or my invitee should call me. You can also add in your own logo, and you can allow the user to invite guests. And moving on to availability, you can select the available date range. So you might want it over a couple of days. You can also change when you want the days that you're available or unavailable. So if it's grayed out, it will say unavailable. If you click the tab on, you can then choose what time, and you can also add in multiple times for certain days. You can also add a form, which means that the client or team member will have to fill out this form to accept the meeting. You can also adjust the layout, so you'd simply drag these up and down, but there might be a little bug here, but to do this, you'd have to click on the side here to kind of have the cursor in the right place so you can move these up and down. Just a small thing to note, but it took me a few seconds to work that one out. You can also simply drag and drop any of these fields into the selected area where you want. Then once you're done, don't forget to save changes. And now you can adjust the booking form settings. So you have the form title, the description, the submit success message, also the message of the button, and you can change the colors for all of this, which is a really nice additional feature they have. You can also set up a reminder. I'm assuming that this reminds the client, but it doesn't quite say, so it could be yourself. But either way, you can set up a reminder, and it has up to a duration of 1 hour before, or as low as 5 minutes before. So maybe they could add in a day before if you work like that. Okay, so moving on, we have documents, and for the starter package you get 100 documents that you can add. Now if I go to this document I created earlier, it essentially looks like a Notion document, like when you start from a document in Notion. And the reason I say that is because it has all these little elements here, and if you click the plus icon, this is just like Notion, which isn't a bad thing because Notion's very easy to use. And at the top here, you get your header, which you can change, and they have a few pre-built ones already, or you can upload your own. You can add in your little emoji here. You can also have your title, so this is the H1 heading here. You can have that as any of these instead. And then to add in elements or text, you just go to the line or the available space, you click plus, and you can choose from any of these. Another way to do this is you click the 4 key, and then the options will come up there. And I did try and add a YouTube video earlier, but for some reason it couldn't connect. And I tried this out with a couple, but it had no connection to that YouTube URL. And this is when I try to embed the URL, so I'm not sure if that's a problem my end or it's something they can look at. But you can also add in a video block or insert a file. And when you add in a video block, it can only be up to 20 megabytes, so embedding a video is always better. When you're done, you can add members to the document, you can invite contacts, so they'll all have access to this particular document. You can also share it, publish it to the web, but you probably won't want to do that. And next up, we have tasks, which is a very similar layout to the sales pipeline. And it's pretty much a Kanban layout, so it's very easy to see for your clients and team members and yourself. Now, to add a new task, you just go to this button here and you'll have this little pop-up window with some options that you need to fill out. So you would add in your task name, the assignees, you can add in multiple ones if you have them, the priority, so you have up to high, as low as urgent to high. You have the status of where it is right now, and then if we go down, you can select a folder, choose the date that is due, add a label and a description, go to create task, and you'll see that little pop-up that appeared, and it doesn't close automatically, so you would have to go to cancel, but it does save it, and there it is. And I don't have a little image of John Wick, so that's why it's blank there. Now, if you want to update these tasks, say if this one here is completed or it's in progress now, you just drag it across there and it's very simple, just like the sales pipeline. Now, they've got two layouts here, the grid view and the list view, but if I go to the list view, I get this error. So I think that's something they need to look at and fix. So moving on, we have projects. Now, to create a new project, you just click that button and then you'll have to fill out all this information. So once you've filled out all the information, such as choosing the client, the assignees, project manager, and priority, etc., you can come down here, choose a start date. So that'll be today. And let's say we want it done by Monday. You can have it as private or public, and you can also notify the client. So they'll get a message to say this is what they need to do. And then you will choose create project, and there you go. Next up, we have quotation. Now, it's very simple to create a quotation. Like all the other options, you go to that button, new quotation, you select your contact, a subject, choose the currency. So we might want it in United Kingdom, or that would be GBP. Select a folder, that's the only one I have, the expiry date by Monday, create quotation. Okay, so you have a few options here. You can set a reminder. You can also change the logo, change the signature, and you get to choose from 9 different templates, which is nice. So that one looks really appealing on the eye. After that, what you want to do is go to details. You'd add in your subject, the currency, which is by default, requires an upfront payment, which is nice. The turnaround times, you can select a folder, add the expiration date, and of course you'd want to add the item of what you're selling. So I've put in here as an example an AI chatbot. You can also add in tax if you want to. So for USD you might want that, and you can put in a note. So perhaps you want to add in what happens after the sale is done. So it's very similar to like a PayPal invoice or something like that. And what you can do up here is, first of all, you want to save quotation, but you can also send to the client, generate a public URL, duplicate it, convert to invoice, so that's always good. You can download it, print it, and you can change the status. So quite a few options to choose from there. Next up, we have invoices, and like all the other options, all you need to do is click the button, fill out this information, and then go to create invoice. And very much like quotation, the layout is the same, and you just need to go through these settings. And first of all, and most important, is you want to choose the payment gateway. And if you have added these settings at the very beginning under your settings tab, then it will show as soon as you click on one. So if I wanted PayPal, I would click there. But because I haven't added my PayPal details, it won't allow that. So manual payment is a lot easier. So if I just went with that, and then you would fill out all this information. If you need to, change the template so it's the same as those quotations. And then like before, you need to add the item. So I'd say ×1 AI chatbot. You can choose the quantity, and of course you'd want to add in your rate. So let's say £500, and then it will appear there. You can add in a note, or you can turn that off. And then what you want to do is save the invoice. And say if you want to send this right now to the client, we can click there, and you have a couple of options. You can send it now, or you can send it on any of these dates or days. So on the due date, which is the 24th, you can send it for there. I'm going to show you now. If I click send now, send to client, and I'll show you how that appears on my email. And here we go. This is the invoice that's just been sent. It's got the invoice amount. It says paid by tomorrow. You can also view the invoice there. So if you're the client, you just click that. And yeah, it's really nice. And there's the preview of it. So it's all very professional. Next up, we have forms, but I showed you most of that earlier. But really, all you need to do is go to add form and you can just drag and drop these fields in there. So if I wanted the name and then the email, there isn't a vast amount of customization, but there is a bit such as changing the email name, the placeholder. You can have it as required, which means they need to fill out that information to successfully submit the form. And you can do this for most of the fields, which is really nice. Now, we did briefly cover teams earlier, but for this starter package, you can only create one team, but essentially you can create quite a lot of teams and you can add members just by clicking there, putting in their email and clicking add. You can add in the contact information, you can view the details of the team and much more. You can obviously remove members as well. One last thing to note is you can actually create tickets like support tickets, and to do that, we go to new ticket. Fill out this information here. You can select a contact, select the agent, and choose a ticket priority, the description. You can attach an image or a file and create a ticket. And if we just click on this one, you will see here there's a thread that's been created, which you can then have contact with the team member and the contact. So some really nice features on TaskIP. You also have the option to create folders for various documents or any other information that you want in different folders. There's also an archive section, which I haven't used, but essentially you can add in historical data that you don't need or things that you might have got rid of. You can also drag this side panel across, so if you want more room, you just drag it to the left. Okay, so let's check out the TaskIP website. Now, it looks very professional and you can see they've put a lot of effort into this. There's a bunch of features that have been added that are new and there's more that are coming soon, such as the proposal builder and a workflow, which sounds really good. They also have a lot of resources such as blogs, and some of these were created this year. Most importantly, for this kind of software, they have a lot of documentation, and I mean it covers absolutely everything, which is fantastic to see, and that would reassure me in buying a software like this. And the team have definitely taken time in making this very accessible and user-friendly for anyone using TaskIP. They also have a public roadmap with 61 updates that have been completed. They have 11 coming up next, which is good to see. So that's quite a few there. And in progress, they have 12, which is brilliant. This is their changelog just here. And you can see that from the 5th of March, they've updated recently. And there's quite a lot of updates over the last few months, all the way back from 10th of July 2024. So that's fantastic to see. They also have a bunch of comparison articles down here, and you can see that they're very proud of their software, and they should be. You can also get in contact with them or join them on the platforms Discord and Facebook. So, guys, if you have a business or an agency and you're looking to manage your clients and team better, TaskIP is a worthy choice. It basically has everything you will need for your business or agency, plus a lot more. And if you'd like to buy a TaskIP, I'll leave a link in the description below. It is affiliated, but it would really help me a lot and I'd appreciate it. Okay, guys, so that's it for this review on TaskIP. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are on it and if you think it's better than the current lifetime deal on AppSumo for Agency Handy. And guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you on the next review.